What a fantastic day. What a fantastic day. And so excited to have been here and heard from everybody. My name is James Roberts, and I am the treasurer and board member of Another Way to Go, and I have been for about 20 years. It's been my privilege to serve uh, there. I want to just say something briefly about Another Way to Go as an introduction to Ricardo, who's going to speak. Um, the Another Way to Go program started as the End Violence Project with a simple idea. If we could create leaders, if we could transform the men in prison and create leaders, they would go back out into their community as leaders and be a powerful force for good in the communities that they came from. Um, our new name, Another Way to Go, comes from one of the people who participated with us who said, until I did your program, I didn't know there was another way to go, hence the name Another Way to Go. Um, Ricardo, as he'll tell you in his story, um, was born in Manhattan and raised in Puerto Rico. And his early life, as he describes it, was a series of bad choices. And he went to prison at the age of 16. After serving his time, he was released, but nothing had changed in his way of thinking, in his way of living. And so he was pretty soon back in prison, this time sent away for life. He came about 8, 9 years ago. He came across our program in a prison in Massachusetts um, and took to it like a fish for water. And so after doing the program, he then coached and facilitated the program for 6 or 7 years. He's been out for a little bit over a year now. He was released against all odds in 2023. Um, and he really is a leader in his community. And he's recently joined us on the board of the Another Way to Go. And we're privileged and honored to have his voice and his participation. Um, you'll hear more eloquently from Ricardo about his life. And it's my pleasure to welcome him and to thank him for his contribution. Ricardo, take it away.
Hi, thank you. You hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ricardo Bacigalupo. Um, I was a very my way of thinking was totally distorted. Um, when I caught this case that somebody lost their life, took me about 5 years to in my bid to change my way of thinking. I did a program called "A Turn to Violence," and they gave me they were talking about the word insanity, the definition of insanity. It's repeating the same thing over and over again without getting the same result. That was something that really clicked in my head, and then they started talking about the ripple effect of what one decision that one makes, the effect it has on not just your family but on the community around you. Um, that from that day forward, I decided to change my way of thinking. Even though I was incarcerated, it was a different type of community. Uh, I started to change my behavior. Uh, I found a job. I got into programs. I got into the culinary program. I got into the welding program. I was able to get my license as a welder. I was able to get my electrician certification. Um, I was able to get a job in the institution. Uh, I learned so much. And then, by the grace of God, the Leadership Training Transformational Thinking program uh, was available to us lifers there. And that is like the same thing as Another Way to Go. And I met Antonia and the facilitators there. And one thing from the program that really struck me was uh, Tim, the facilitator, explaining to us. I'm going to explain to you guys what you know that you don't know that you don't know. And I was looking at him like, what? I don't understand what he's trying to say. Well, I'm going to explain to you this. And then in my head, I was saying, oh, hell no, I'm not coming back to this program. But about half an hour into the program, everything started to make a little bit of more sense, and it just after that I was looking forward to Tuesdays for the program and whatnot, and I took it upon after about 3 months into the program. I took it upon myself and another participant. We took it upon ourselves, being that we only had one day of the week with the program. Being that I work in the maintenance department, I was able to go to the other all around the institution. I was able to meet with other guys uh, about that in the program, and we were able to help each other out, and we became a solid community, and that's what really helped me. Develop in the program, and I was able to use every all the tools that the program had to provide for me, and I was I am very successful to this day because of that program. I thank God every day that I met Antonia, I met Tom. These people they treated me as an equal, and I felt that I was part of something big. So after I graduated, I asked if we could participate as mentors, and they told us that it wasn't up to them, but they were going to see what they could do. And by the grace of God, I was able to mentor for I think it was 7 programs after that. And when long story short, when I went to the parole board, that I explained to the parole board of they asked me what has changed from the beginning of your bid to now, and I explained to them. I changed my way of thinking. I changed my way of behaving. I told them everything that I've achieved, and why I've become the man that I am that I am to this day. Uh, they really really thought that I changed my way of thinking, the way I've behaved, and they granted me parole. And as soon as I got out, when I before I got out, when I told the facilitators that I got my parole, they were as excited as my family members, everybody, even the people in the institution. The day that I left the institution, I didn't know the effect my behavior had on the people in the institution until the day that I left. The administration, the staff, all of them came to see me to say goodbye. Uh, I was very proud of myself, of the man that I'd become. Uh, and I've continued to do the same thing out here in society. I've been very blessed with all the amazing people that I've met. My parole officer, uh, the paroled me to the CRJ, is a like a halfway house program in West Springfield, Massachusetts, and they were very helpful. They helped me adjust to the society. My parole officer helped me. I got out on a Thursday. Monday, I got a job. I was able to start working. I put into practice the things that I learned while I was incarcerated. And to this day now, I work at a company called Rettenauer, and I'm an electrician, welder, and suspension engineer. And all that, I really think I was able to achieve all that by implementing the tools that I learned from the program. Oh, I got more time. Oh, well, I didn't know. Uh, I to this day, since I've been out, uh, society has been a shock to me. Being that I was away for 30 years, almost 30 years. Uh, so now, uh, what I do is, in any since I've been out since last October, um, I've tried to help the community in any way I can. I haven't been able to participate in any program. Uh, Homeless shelters or anything like that. But uh, and anytime I could help somebody, I do. You know, that's that's all that I could do. If I could help one person each day, I believe that I've achieved something.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ricardo. Um, yeah, I couldn't wait to hear you speak. I got a chance to talk with Ricardo. I think we were on the phone for about 30 minutes, and I got a moment to just get into the whole world of what this transformational work has meant to him. And I'm so happy you did accept the invitation to come and share um, what the work has done for you. If you could tell us what what is the most, it's kind of based off of our conversation, but what is the best part about your life now?
Being with my kids, that was something that I talked about almost every day while I was incarcerated. What one of the things that motivated me to stay out of trouble was, I didn't want to lose the little privileges that I did have while I was in there. And I always talked about I would love to do this with my kids, do that with my kids, spend time with my grandchildren. Um, and to this day, I'm living out that dream. I'm living it to 100%. I enjoy my grandchildren. My kids love me. You know, I I still sometimes I don't believe that I'm here. I'm out here because it was uh, over the years they always told that, especially Massachusetts, that the parole board wasn't giving parole, and I think 8 years ago they started the parole board was mandated to start giving parole to people that did all the things that they were asked to do. Uh, and they gave us a chance. And uh, I'm making sure that parole board does not regret giving me parole.
That's
So
right.
I'm gonna
That's right.
I'm gonna try to make a difference out here as much as I can.
You're doing that. Ricardo, I have a question from Kent. What did you discover about what you didn't know that you didn't know that you didn't know?
Oh, that is really. I didn't know that I had intertwined fact from fiction. That is something that we're all ingrained. We have that so meshed together, and the facilitators from the program, it wasn't easy for them to get that across from us, get it across, get us to understand what they were saying. But once they separated it for us and they helped us understand it, it was eye opening. Because facts don't change, interpretations change. So and it's amazing how clear things are now, when you separate those two things. And integrity is something that it's like the people say, oh, I'll give you my word. It's all right. That's all right. But for oneself, if you integrity is something that you keep in your word, because it's easy to come up with excuses to do anything, not to do things. Instead of just doing it's less time consuming. So uh, one of the things from the program that I remember Antonio was always telling us, that if there's something that bothers you, instead of complaining about it, if it's bothering you, do something about it. You know, and that's something that I tell my daughters. And like for example, uh, if the dishes, if there's a dirty cup in the sink, instead of complaining, just clean it if it's bothering you. And then it's not bothering you no more. Simple things. Not just that, the bed, the little thing. Pick up the shoes. Don't take your shirt off here. Stuff like that. Take the hamper downstairs. You know, if it's bothering you, do something about it. Don't complain about it, because it's not bothering them. It's only bothering you. So I make sure that is something that you know that my wife and my kids, they see me. Ah, you have OCD. No, it's not OCD. I'm just a clean person. You know, my wife can't complain. She's guilty as OCD as I am. So she's just as clean freak as I am. But you know, uh, we're
That's,
happy like that. You
that's
know,
beautiful.
and my
Wonderful.
kids are happy.
I know they are. I know their papa's home. Listen, I have 2 questions in 2 minutes. Let's see if we can get them both answered because they're both great questions. One is from Dr. Golding. Ricardo, what made you different from others in prison who don't take advantage of opportunities? Give us the short if you can, because I'd really like to take this last question that will empower someone.
Well, it's a choice you got to make. I believe it. I believe it's a choice. If I want to change my ways, then I have to choose to do it. You know, that's what I think of that question. That's the answer I have for that question. I chose to change my way of doing things. You know, and I see the result now.
Good. I see. I see. That's great. I still hear the work that you've done in that answer. And maybe you can support Michael with his question. I do have mental struggles with depression and anxiety. Michael spent quite a bit of time in. What helped the most in your own self development? That's our last question.
Okay, it's easy. It's easy to get overwhelmed. Take it one day at a time. Don't try to do too much too fast. Uh, I remember one instance when I got out when I got on the bus in Springfield. I saw a homeless girl. I saw a homeless lady, and on a Friday I got paid. In my head, I had this battle. How can I help her without her freaking out? You know, and I just broke down crying on the bus. You know, and what I did, I decided in my head I was going to give her the $20 when I got off the bus and just walk away. Whatever she did with the money was on her. You know, uh, one don't take too much at it. Don't think too much ahead. Just do little by little. Don't do too much at one time. Especially for us that have been down. So if he's suffering PTSD from being in prison, uh, little by little, you know, little bites, little bites. That's the only way you do it.
Thank you. Michael says, thank you, Ricardo. Ricardo, this has been a tremendous opportunity to be with you, and your share was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing from your heart. You blessed everyone here, and just good to be with you.
Thank you. Same here.
Thanks.